All right. What is up, everybody? Here we go. Guess what? It's 2022. We've turned the clocks. We've turned the calendars. Here we go, right? Everything is rolling. Let me ask you something. I've been getting this question a lot. That here we are, new year, 20 some days into it. And I'm already feeling stuck. Maybe I'm just a little upset with the way things are going, frustrated, overwhelmed. Any of those words resonate with you? Even if it's not now, do they ever resonate with you? Any of them? Stuck. God, I'm stuck. Oh, I feel overwhelmed. There's so much to do. What about just upset, just like the way things are going? The media, the this, the that, what people are saying, what they're not saying, who's doing what, right? We get so caught up in it. And just straight frustration. Well, check it out. Most people are having it, right? It's a new year, but it's the same old shit. But when you look around, why are so many people just soaring? Why are there other people that it seems like nothing ever bothers them? Seems like they always just, they have it all figured out. You've seen those people, I'm sure you, and when you're in a bad situation, you hate those people. You're like, God, I hate that guy. Oh, that girl, everything always works out for her or him or whatever. But here's the thing. It's really simple, not easy, but it's really simple. What it comes down to is some simple frameworks. What it comes down to is building a framework so that you can use this anytime, any day, in any situation. Imagine if you had a framework built. Imagine if you had a mindset in this framework built that in any situation, regardless, good, bad, and different, anything that could happen, I could jump to this framework. I could jump to this moment, this way of doing things, and I could get through it because I have simple frameworks that I hit, right? I tell people all the time, what's your superpower? My superpower is to reframe anything into where the positive is. I get to see the positive in everything. I wake up happy every damn day on purpose. Not happy every day. You know that. Most of you guys, but I'll tell you this, it's a fucking choice. I make a choice. So what I really want you to talk, what I want to talk about today, what I want to give you today is something even better, right? Is the most important type of framework, and it's called reflective framework. Having a model or framework, what that does is it encourages a structured process to guide the act of reflection. In that moment, the act of reflection. And reflection leads to positive action. Positive action creates less stress, less overwhelm, and can almost get away with any part of your frustration. So how do we do it? What the heck are you talking about, Jeremy? Well, here it is. You ready for the framework? Get your pen and paper out. Here it goes. If you're driving, don't worry about it. Come back to minute 350 and then write it down from here, right? A reflective framework called what, so what, and now what. Here's what it is, right? Is that the what process. So any circumstance, any situation, we look at what. So there's a doctor and there's all these different people that have used this framework. And most of the time it's used in groups. Most of the time it's used with companies, okay? But what I wanted to do is when I was reading about it, when I heard it, I was like, wow, that's really interesting because I do something similar, just something that I always have done. And so how do we make it individualized? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the reflective, right, framework of what, so what, and now what, and we're going to turn it into a single individual type situation, right? So the what. Here's number one, reflect. So what do? I reflect and I describe the current situation or circumstance. I want to get it out. What is happening? or what has happened, right? And here's the point. I want to be as objective as possible. What the heck just happened? I want to reflect. I want to describe it. I want to get detailed about it. Okay? So that's my what. And then so what? Well, so what is, how do I feel about this? And I want you to really describe your feelings, your ideas, a true analysis of the situation from my feeling perspective, because that's where we go, right? Everything is based on emotion. People are living off emotion, right? Motivation, inspiration, depression, all these words are because of an emotion, because of how we feel. And a lot of times it's how we're describing that situation, what the narrative is. But when I can understand how I feel about that situation, I can describe it, the feeling, the ideas, really, really put a good analysis to the situation on it, is that then I can start to make better decisions and I can frame it up, right? Also looking at, in the so what portion, what impacts the way that you view it? When you're looking at it, what is the lens I'm viewing this situation from? Is that lens anger, jealousy? Is it love? Is it adoration? Like, what is it? Is it envy? What is the lens I'm looking through? What is it? Because that matters, because that determines how I see this, right? Because if I'm in an angry state, man, there's a lot of really cool situations that I miss because of that. But when I can describe it, when I know the situation and then I go into the so what, when I have a framework around it, I can actually come out of this. This is such a strong perspective. I hope you're getting it. I hope you buy into it. And then the final part is now what? Now what? And what I want you to look, so we had the what, we reflected, we described, we understand the current situation or circumstance or experience. And then we said, so what? Well, how do I feel about this? What lens am I looking through? And how can I describe this? How can I describe these feelings? But then it's now what? What are you willing to do about it? The operative word there is willing, because it's not just what do you want to do about it? Well, what are you willing to do about it? Because that's going to tell you where you need to go next. And in some of these cases, what did I learn? What can I apply? What happened in that situation, right? So in the now what situation, what am I willing to do about it? Well, if I know what I learned and I know what I can apply, then I can actually take a step, an action step. Here's the key. That action step might be, let it go. God, I don't even need to give energy to this situation, to this circumstance, to this experience. I don't even need to give it energy, right? Because I'm not willing to do anything about it. So if I'm not willing to do anything about it, let it go. I'm gone. See ya. Moving on. Moving on. There's a lot of times in our lives that we keep telling these stories over and over and over about the year that we had, or the bad year that we had, or the bad dinner that we had, or the bad relationship, or what somebody did or said. We keep telling these stories, and guess what? They just keep recircling. Well, when I take this approach, when I put a framework around it, instead of keep telling that story in the now what situation, what am I willing to do about it? Nothing. Okay, let it go. Stop telling that story, because it's just holding you back. Or that action step is, I'm going to do something about it, and it's this. And now I have an actual action. And one of my favorite lines of Tony Robbins that he has, he's got a lot, but one of my favorites is when he said, motion creates emotion. What I say to you earlier, we react on emotion, right? Logic makes us think, right? Emotion makes us act. So everybody's acting out of emotion. What is that emotion? Well, if I go what, so what, now what? Now I control the emotion. I control the motion, the action that I take. Because the most important part here is changing your physiology. That's the motion, right? Doing something. But changing my physiology means changing your mental state, and it breaks your negative patterns by doing something. Think about this. Changing your physiology means changing your mental state and breaking your negative patterns. And great physiology, therefore, leads to great emotions. And that is one of the keys to getting unstuck. What did I start this with today? Do you feel stuck? Do you? Well, guess what? Motion creates emotion. Change your physiology means changing your mental state. It breaks the negative cycles. When I have a framework, what, so what, now what, when I have the framework to work through, that I can create great physiology. And when I do, it leads to great emotions. And that is absolutely positively the key to getting unstuck. And then you can foster a positive, great mental state. And all you got to do to get unstuck is change your physiology. Get out there and do. So the next time, right now, when you're feeling stuck, let's analyze it. Go back, do your what, so what, and now what. And then in the now what is the action step? What am I going to do? Create the motion so that you have great emotion, so that you become unstuck, you get rid of the negative patterns, and you get to live your optimal self. There you go. Best life starts with some frameworks. You got to work through it. No day's perfect. No day's easy. But when you have a framework to work through, it allows you to grow, it allows you to evolve. When those situations arise, I can get through them quicker and quicker and quicker. It takes practice. This is a skill. But the more you practice it, the more you focus on it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it, the better your life. So get out there. All right? That's what I got for you today. As always, share, comment. I want to hear about it. What do you think? Are you using it? Can you use it? More than anything, there's somebody out there right now that you know that I don't know, that we don't get to touch, but you can. Do me a favor, share it with them. All you got to do is hit that share button. Put it in that text message. Share it. See what they think. Talk about it. Because that's how we create a great community, and we create better minds, and we create better lives. All right? Until next time, get out there and be the best version of you.